Okay, I got got my phone bungee corded to a tripod. Seems like it might work okay. Got my mouth right by the phone, so you should hear me good. Even though I talk like a mumbly or real low, quietly. Anyway, I bought this aluminum housed all metal gear transmission for an AX-10 off of eBay. Real cheap, 40 bucks. But when I got it, it was all put together. It was pre-assembled. When I got it, all the there was a gap. Here it was. Okay. See the bottom there? There's a gap like that in the bottom. The top was nice and tight. I tightened all the screws and I couldn't get rid of that gap by doing that, so I took it apart and looked for the problem, which I found it is, let me take this apart again. This gear, I don't know what gear it is, but if you see there, I took the material. It was too wide and it wasn't letting the case close all the way. I tried pressing the bearings in further, and I thought about every which, what the hell? There's a hole in that. Do you see that? There's a goddamn hole. There's a hole in my... It's from that. They drilled that screw too far. Oh, I'm going to have to fix that. Oh, anyway, I had to take a little bit of material off of this on both sides. What I did, I stuck it in my the chuck of my drill. And I used my multi-tool file here to hold it on there while I spun the drill. You know, and it just took a little bit off at a time until it fit good. Now it fits perfect, so. But another problem I had was when this was all put together, the spur gear, when everything's tight on there, thing moves like crazy, like a quarter inch at least, a quarter inch. And that's enough to throw it off of the pinion. You know, this gear is barely a quarter inch wide, and it would move like crazy. I was like, what? So I went and I have a bunch of washers somewhere, but I couldn't find them. So I tried to make my own spacers. First I used these electrical connectors, cut this part off of it, and then ground it down to where it's nice and smooth. It's the perfect size, but it's not thick enough. So I used two of them, and then that was too thick. So I tried this little link of metal that I got to that size too. I just messed with it with the needle nose pliers until I got it to that size. And that doesn't work either. Too thick. But what I was doing, I was putting this in different places. I was putting it under the bearing, on top of the bearing, on the other side, on this side of the bearing, you know. And then finally I found a place that takes up all the slack. I don't know why the different location of it, but this fixes it. When I put it right there, put it all back together. Now it barely moves. Perfect. I love it. That's what it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna what am I gonna do? Oh, I made this video because I'm about to seal this up. I'm going to put marine grease in it, try to waterproof it the best I can. And then I'm going to Loctite all the screws and hopefully not take it apart for a long time. Being that I have a Redcat Everest 10, and this is for an AX-15, these two holes look like they match up to the Everest plate on the bottom, but these are too skinny. So I was thinking I'd just flip the plate 180 degrees and make my own holes. Should work fine. If I mess it up, then I'll order me one of those aluminum plates. But yeah, there it is. I don't know, I guess you don't need to see it back together. I'll just let you know what I did to it. I did not like that gap when I bought it. So I've had it for a couple months and I didn't know. It's just like, that's a piece of junk, you know, from China. 40 bucks. But it's actually really good. It's after I did this, it fits so nice now. The tolerances are acceptable for me. And they use these cross-cut gears, or spiral cut, or whatever, instead of just straight pitched gears. And I got one of the spur gears the same way. It's got the cross, and I did order me a spur and pinion that are cross. First thing I did was strip my spur gear, so I ordered me one of these metal spur and pinion when they're cross, just like this, the cross. Fucking, I keep saying this shit. Cross cut. There we go. Spiral cut. And they were good. Haven't slipped. I can't tell any wear on it. You know, it did wear the paint off on my where my truck is, my spur gear. But so I like these. I think it's going to work good. Anyway, there is my shit for today. Have a good one.